And welcome aboard. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon in the capital city of the Sunshine State. And we got a great presentation for you here today. The Tallahassee Reckoning, your Tallahassee Reckoning, will be hosting the Pensacola Football Club. So, a highly competitive contest between two teams that are expected to be towards the top of the table this season. So, of course, both these teams coming off victories in their last contest. Of course, the thriller, if you were here with us for the Reckoning, 2-1, able to take down the Roots over for Pensacola. They took down the Academy 6-0 over on their side, out to the west over on the Emerald Coast. So, at the contest we have here today, like we said, these are two teams that will be competitive here going forward as we take a look at the table. This is how things currently stand, second and third, based on raw points. Of course, Pensacola has yet to not only not win every game that they played, every match that they've played, but, of course, they've yet to concede. Of course, a nice goal differential for them, sitting at +7. But Gulf Coast United, of course, who beat Tallahassee 2-1 over in Mississippi, was able to handle business there, so that's what has them at the 7 points. Of course, everybody in the league in action here today, so it'll be a fun, festive affair for the entire contest. Of course, Union 10 is going to host the Roots, and then Gulf Coast United will host the Academy. So a chance to shake it up. Depending how that game results later this afternoon, that game will kick off at 6 p.m., the Gulf Coast Pensacola Academy game. But depending on how that one goes, if somebody's able to capture the full 3 points here today, they might be able to go top of the table. But all to say that this is going to be a highly competitive contest, and we're anticipating it being very, very exciting. So we appreciate you coming aboard with us. As you can see, here's the recent form from Pensacola. Like we said, yet to concede a goal here so far on the season. So they are absolutely rolling. You know, of course, that's what you expect here for the reigning champs. Over on the other side, Tallahassee. Gotta love that home cooking, undefeated here at home. Looking for a little bit of a faster start here than we had against the Roots earlier this week, back on Wednesday. Able to come back thanks to the brace from Sasha Manders to rescue Tallahassee, getting to the full 3. But it'll be a fun contest we have out here today as we were approaching the national anthem here today. You can see players have taken the field as they're ready to get going for today's action. Of course, we got the starting lineups going on, so why not have those for you here? Thompson, Haley, Bartasek, Hassel, Linville, Reynolds, Woodard, Griffin, Land, Manders, and Mendoza in goal here for the Reckoning. And then over on the other side for Pensacola, Earwig, Phillips, Skiros, Nelson, Niles, Takak, Thompson, Swinton, Bells, Lavovich, Fergranis here for Pensacola. So Tallahassee going to go with the 3-5-2 that we've seen developing here for you today. Of course, thanks to the return, I think, largely of Layla Thompson, who's going to be wearing number 5 here tonight. Her range, able to track back, allows them to go 3 in the back, because I think they're going to need some success in the midfield in order to control this game. They were able to in large stretches against the Roots, but can they do here today against what we're assuming is feeling like the top dog here in the division? Of course, what is that division? That's the Third Coast Division of the Gulf Coast Conference here in the Women's Premier Soccer League. Of course, as you hear the starting lineups coming through, watch out for number 46 here of your Tallahassee Reckoning, fresh off a 2-goal performance just a couple days ago. She currently has the Golden Boot, but we're going to give way here to the national anthem. All right, there we are. National anthem off and underway, ready to get it rolling here from the Gene. Of course, Gene Cox Stadium here in Tallahassee. Vander Dupe alongside Walter Weaver bringing you the action here today from the Nest down on Tallahassee's south side. Of course, the visitors from Pensacola going against your Tallahassee Reckoning here tonight. Like we said, winner here today could go top of the table if we get a little help out west. But, of course, a long way to go before then. For Tallahassee Reckoning fans, of course, you got a big day on the slate here today because the USLW team also plays here tonight. So stay tuned because it's going to be a fun affair all day long, a little double trouble here for your Tallahassee Reckoning. So just moments away here from kickoff. As you can see, hopefully you can hear the soundtrack. They got it going on here today, a little mid-afternoon affair. Not often we get out here in such of the sunshine, but a beautiful day, and hopefully the cooperation comes with. So the kickoff is off and away, and the Reckoning will start things off, of course, with their black-based, swirly uniforms here. Of course, part of the new set we have here for the 2025 season. Of course, Pensacola in all white. Pensacola will be going right to left. Tallahassee will be going left to right. Shuffle around here as it's back to the goalkeeper for Granis, who's wearing 45 here today. Of course, Tallahassee coming out in the 3-5-2 dispossessed here for Pensacola. An opportunity for them to push. It's going to be met well here by Abby Griffin, who's going to be your center back. Of course, out on the right-hand side is going to be Nolan, and then I believe Layla Thompson, number 5, will be out there towards the left back position. Shuffled around, and that's Jordan Land, Texas native, able to poke it free there. It's going to be collected back by Quiroz of PFC. And cycle back. Here's a little pressure from Manders. Currently leads the team in WPSL goals. Swerving through the midfield is Pensacola. That's going to be a key component for Tallahassee. Can they keep them out of Main Street and send them towards the flanks and be able to cover those successfully? That's going to be the big viewpoint here. And we'll have a free kick here for Tallahassee on the offside. Just about 25 yards from goal here, so it'll be a free kick. First time we'll get some action here for Bella Mendoza, the goalkeeper here today. Of course, she's going to be wearing the green keeper jersey. Pensacola keeper looks like it's a gray/off blue. And the lefty gives it a ride over into the attacking half. Gets through the top line. Here's Natalie Nelson. Of course, the former Lincoln Trojan, able to win a throw-in here for Tallahassee over on that far side. Drop back off here, and this is going to be dispossessed. Now Pensacola an opportunity to go there on that left flank. Griffin, the center back, giving chase. Haley has one in the middle, trying to prevent them from getting through. Thompson able to recover. They're able to get it out of danger, and Linville will clear. Out the hassle here in the midfield. Back towards her goal. They try to go over the top. A little bit of direct play there, looking for Nelson. An aggressive left side of that formation. It'll be Nelson and Manders up top to start. Those are going to be your two forwards. Manders is going to be on that right side. Nelson over on the left. Midfield going from near side to far side is going to be Haley, Bartasek, Reynolds, Hassel, Land. So Land, who you typically see on the front line, is going to drop into the midfield. She's going to be on that outside. And then, of course, Reynolds is kind of going to be the anchor in that defense. She's going to drop into more of a defensive position, though she will look to facilitate, and she's a fantastic facilitator. Of course, was in for a big assist. I believe it was the second goal that she was able to slide through, but definitely was a part of one of the two Manders goals. Turnover here, dangerous position. Keeper left out to dry, finishes in the back of the net for the visitors, and it looks like the offside flag stays down, but a successful dunk in here for Pensacola to start things off. And it looks like number 7, Quiroz, with the goal here for the visitors. So an early deficit here for Tallahassee. All the goals that they've conceded. And correction, it was 4-42 belts here for Pensacola. So off and away here, so some early damage from the visitors has Tallahassee in the deficit. And just the 4th minute of play here. Similarly, they gave up an early one to almost every team that they've played here this season. They've been a second-half team, dominated the second half. But the first half, like we said, they've been outscored. It was 3-4 coming into this match, but now it's 3-5. On the flip side, they have shut out opponents in the second half by a count of 5-0. So hopefully not too much damage done. We can regroup here for Tallahassee. Service over the top for Pensacola. Have an overlapping run here to the near side. Looking to go centrally. Good defensive effort there by Haley. Hassel's going to come in and offer a little bit of assistance as they try to get an outlet and break the press here for Pensacola, which seems to be dangerous so far, and you can see how dangerous the visitors are. Just a little bit of a mistake here on the drop pass back to Mendoza, and they were able to pick it up and put it in. That's exactly how clinical this squad is. So little pressure here for Pensacola as Tallahassee trying to get out of the defensive half here, as Pensacola has really had it locked in here in the early going. Save a couple opportunities here for the Reckoning. Turning back out. Good pressure by Land on Earwig. All the way back to Faragnis. Over the top, and there's the goal scorer, Belts. Belts, a player to watch. Of course, I believe that's her 2nd goal of the season. You also got to watch out for number 3 in the middle, who I believe had the service there, is Paige Phillips, coming off a hat trick versus the Academy. She's got 4 goals in just 2 matches for Pensacola. So look out for number 3. Playing collegiate ball with Pensacola State. Rising junior. I don't know if she's planning to hang out at Pensacola State or take the talents elsewhere, but typically Pensacola State, though they do have their 4-year full-fledged programs, typically you see a little 2-2 going through with the state colleges, similar to what you would see from Tallahassee State College here in the capital city. So throw in, looking for Belts once again. Sprawling effort there by Thompson. And it's going to be a goal kick here for Tallahassee for Mendoza once again. So a rocky start here for Tallahassee, but still plenty of time to go ahead and get things organized here. As temporarily, if somebody gets the full 3 here today, temporarily will go top of the table here in the 3rd Coast Division. And if they get a little help from the Academy of Pensacola, if they could tie Gulf Coast or even beat them, then if a winner emerges here today, they go top of the table outright into next week. Pressure on the keeper here is Nelson. Well done here for the Reckoning. Opportunity for them to get a set throw in here in the fringe of the attack in 3rd. Nelson checking back towards the ball. Taken away by Pensacola as they put the squeeze on. It's a little 4-on-6 break for them. Good service here to the perimeter. They're looking to slide through. Linville in great position. Solid step there for the Wakulla native. But they say last touch here by Tallahassee, so it would be a Pensacola throw-in over on that far side. Of course, for those of you maybe tuning in for Pensacola or for family for your Reckoning coming from across the country, of course, we're using the black lines. As you can see, the white lines are for the football. Dangerous positioning. Here's Pensacola going into service. Skies it over the top with the left foot. But a dangerous, assertive run left Mendoza in a vulnerable position, but she did well to cover and force the attempt. Looking for that high mark, and this one luckily skies out over the top. So in here, just 9 minutes of play, a couple hairy scenarios already. You can see why the top scoring team in the league, based on goal differential, is here in the incoming favorites. They are who we thought they were. Tracked back, but good pursuit by Nelson. Loved the physical play by Reynolds. Pensacola is able to beat the press. Has a gap. Here's the dangerous Phillips. She's in form, about as good as it gets right now here in the WPSL. She's going to be very dangerous. Cannot give her any real estate, but dealt with well here by the Reckoning defense. But Pensacola is going to win a corner kick over here on this near side. Of course, heading towards the north side for those of you geographically familiar here with the confines of Gene Cox Stadium. Be a right-footed in-swinger on the way. There's going to be Quiroz on the delivery here for Pensacola. Slow screamer's going to get in the middle. Cleared off the line. Stays out for now. Secondary ball deflected. Mendoza, 3 incredible saves. And she's able to get on top of it somehow, and it does not go in. An extraordinary effort by the goalkeeper. And somehow we're still at 1-0. The defense offered some help, but some absolute heroics here by Bella Mendoza. Still to keep it here at 1-0 in just the 11th minute of action, but some incredible goalkeeping here. Tallahassee definitely under duress versus the powerful Pensacola right now. Throw in out to the sideline here, looking to take quickly. That's going to be Swinton. She's also a solid player on the defense here for Pensacola. Got a goal against the Academy just a couple days ago. Of course, everybody on a Wednesday-Saturday rotation this week, so it makes league play and league tables very clean. The schedule's very in line this week for everybody. Good pressure by Nelson. Land wants to take one from deep. Almost drops it in over the top. And the Texas native almost with a little two-step celebration there. Just outside the upper 90. Great effort there. You love the press from Nelson, forcing the ball out of the back. Land, taking it quickly. No hesitation, just off the mark. And that's what you got to do if you're Tallahassee. I think you can see Pensacola, when it gets dropped, is a little vulnerable coming out of the back. So an opportunity to go forward and get one there. But, of course, easier said than done because you got to get through the midfield and keep the front line off the table. Good takeaway by Griffin here, the center back. She's going to play it back to Mendoza's feet. Little challenge for Mendoza. Deflected off of Pensacola. It'll be out for a goal kick. So she's offering some instructions here to the back line, which, you know, when you play 3 in the back, you do have an opportunity to really control the midfield, but it is a little bit of a gamble because there will be, regardless of how well you play it, if you're going against solid competition, you will have 4 to 5 chances from the opposition to get a chance. So can you cancel those? Can you communicate effectively? Can the goalkeeper step up? That's, of course, kind of the name of the game of the 3-5-2, but something to keep an eye on here against dangerous Pensacola. Long ball goes into the box. Mendoza up on that, no problem for her. Tries to kick it over the top, but slides out of play there. So be back to Pensacola over on that far side. Here's an opportunity for Tallahassee, turn and burn, but this could be cut off. There's Swinton, who we mentioned earlier. Good pursuit by their Bartasek. Griffin, stride for stride with Phillips. A little shot to the body, and should be last touch by Pensacola. And this will be a reckoning ball on the way out. And it looks like they're going to call a foul off the shove there from Phillips. So this will be a free kick out of the box, not a typical goal kick. As Mendoza lines it up. Of course, I like the vocalization here from Mendoza. Good keeper trying to keep things organized with the defense. Of course, with the young squad here for the Reckoning. This one sent back here to Pensacola all the way around the horn. Some quick, decisive movement. Great spacing here for Pensacola. Here comes Thompson. Good cutoff there. One times it to Griffin. Saw it out well. Really effective defense. And they say just a little too wide, but it's going to be Tallahassee's ball. Of course, Mendoza plays her collegiate ball at University of Massachusetts. Quite a change of weather, I presume, from the northeast down here to the swampy southeast here in Florida, though. Not a bad day. Sunny, 80s. Could be a lot more hot, to be honest, especially at 3 o'clock kickoff here. Throw one instantly here back by Pensacola. Manders all the way backtracking. A takeaway here from Pensacola. They've got numbers as a twisted Tallahassee defense. Oh, here comes Thompson. Great recovery by her. Able to spill it out of danger. Of course, just over 5 months ago, was able to sign with Louisiana Tech. Played her first 2 years of college ball over at UNF. Of course, for the Tallahassee faithful, you know, proud alum of Charles High School, which perennially a power here on the women's side. Good takeaway here by Linville. Opportunistic, but Pensacola takes it right back. And Tallahassee stretch once again. Here it's 3-on-4 here for Pensacola. Centering ball deflected. Great shield by Griffin in the middle. And able to scoop that up is Mendoza out of the back. Good recovery defensively. Assertive defensiveness. Having to make those plays and able to recover well. Gonna need it against a top talent like Pensacola. Feel like I've already said that many times and many more times to come. Haley out of the back, looking for a connection with Manders. Nice little hockey save looking play there from Reynolds. Pensacola once again on the attack. Left-footed service from Belts. And it looks like a centering ball may have hit a hand there for the Reckoning. But luckily, no further investigation by the referee staff. Throw in quickly. Pensacola on the charge. Back to the top of the 18. Sought out well by Griffin. Giddo's back on it from 25. Fade away with the right foot, but well over top. Will not trouble Mendoza. So Danger once again warranted off for Tallahassee here, 18 minutes in. A good recovery here. A little more sound, especially the last 12 minutes or so since the concession. You start to feel last 7 or 8. Tallahassee's kind of finding their footing into a little bit here, but possession definitely controlled by Pensacola. Looking for an answer. How do they crack it? Nelson, great physical play. Going to need some of that from her here today, which, of course, she's got a junkyard mentality, so no shortage ever from Natalie Nelson, the former Lincoln Trojan. This one spilled up here. Hassel trying to recover this one, taken away. Pensacola, but good job recovering here from Hassel to track back. We'll go all the way back to Mendoza. Pressure here from Belts, spilled out wide. There's Haley. Back to Mendoza. They try to regain their shape, but once again, the pressure still on here. Emily Smith into the ball game here for Pensacola, providing the pressure, number 23. So we have a couple Smiths. Emily is in 23. Addison is in 24 for the visitors. So we'll try to keep an eye on that here as we have some substitutions rolling in here for Tallahassee. So Woodard, number 20, is going to come in. She'll look to go up on this right-hand side. She's going to come in for Bartasek. Hassel's going to take a seat. And in for Hassel is Ava Dubois, of course, from McNeese. So, of course, former Florida High player, And, of course, Autumn Woodard, formerly of Gardner-Webb, Louisiana Tech, South Florida. Franchise leader in goals scored. 10 all-time goals in official league competition here for Woodard. 8 last year already. 2 more this year. Here both in WPSL play. A weapon and a veteran of the club. This one tried to thread through traffic looking for Manders there. This one thrown down the line. It's going to be a foot race. Griffin giving pursuit, trying to establish the angle here on Smith. And it dumped out of play, and it'll be a Pensacola throw-in. Pensacola getting in positions. Thompson, number 28, to take the throw-in here for the visitors. A late arriving Phillips, I think was trying to steal a free water break there. Looking for Quiroz, and will be out over the back line. So it'll be a goal kick here for the University of Massachusetts goalkeeper. First minute here from Tallahassee on a sunny Saturday. Tough choice here with the black uniforms. I know they're slick, but it is tough in the middle of the day to be rocking the black unis. Manders brings it down to Linville. Long ball over the top looking for Haley. A little too strong. So it'll be a throw in here. Once again, it's going to be Thompson to take it for Pensacola. And that's going to be to Cax. Looking towards service in the middle. Nobody home, and Mendeza will gladly scoop it up here for the Reckoning. Long ball, able to connect with Nelson, but taken away off the touch here by Pensacola. Touches there by Lebovich, 43, the center back, as well as for Granis, the keeper today. Both keepers with the government name Isabella. Here's some service to land an opportunity. She wants to turn. Oh, trying to turn back into the box. Offside flag was up. Jordan Land put herself in a very dangerous position to give an opportunity here for Tallahassee, but just on the other side of the defender. So PFC catches a break. She went down in the box. Would have been interesting of a potential free kick, penalty kick. What are we talking? But, of course, it amounts to nothing as the offside came first. Dispossessed, but good little back and forth there between the two squads. Thompson emerging with it. Looking to hit the new substitute, Dubois, in the middle. Cycled back. Lebovich. Through ball here for Pensacola. Very quick, very calculated. Here are the Pelicans. Here's Dubois. Back to Linville. They'll look to cycle around as Tallahassee tries to get some shape and give Mendoza some options. The calming presence by the collegiate goalkeeper. Knuckleball from the lefty. Haley does well to flick it on. Nice onward there by Woodard. Manders over the top looking for Nelson. Keeper outside the box. Has to bring it down with her chest. Is able to get rid of it. Dangerous living here for Pensacola, but it pays off. Going a little bit offensive spurt, but is circled back there. Tried to save is Belts, but it'd be out of play. A hairy situation there for Pensacola. Great attacking spell. Switch coming across. It was a great ball by Mendoza. Haley did well to flick it on, just enough. Woodard was able to flick it on to Manders, and instead of going direct, she sees teammate with an opportunity, threads it over the top, and Gave Tallahassee a really dangerous chance there. Long ball, Woodard. Flag stays down. She's going inside the box. Right-footed effort, sinking the back post just a shave off the bar. And we'll stay at 1-0. But once again, 2 consecutive solid combinations here. And it seems the Reckoning have found a little bit of a crease in what has been a really tough Pensacola defense. And that's by way of the long ball here towards the flanks. And good on Woodard for holding that offside line really well. Staying home, and then rolling when the time needs to be. Good step here by Haley. Gets it up to Manders. Looks to go on a little adventure, but is taken away here for Pensacola. So here's the pinches on, an opportunity here for the Reckoning to press. If they can win it back, it's huge. If they can get through the press in Pensacola as Manders takes a tumble. She's definitely been a point of emphasis here for Pensacola. You can tell they watched the film from Wednesday. 46, a target. Of course, the Thomas University player. Rising senior up there. Thomasville from Tallahassee's north side, only 30 minutes. Down from about here, it'd be closer to an hour here to get to campus. As Reynolds will be 50 yards and change here. Looking for some long service. Going to get into the box. Nelson in the area, deflected down Pensacola. Can't get the clearance out. Spills wide, but they're able to control. Long ball is able to get through. A little 3-on-5 now. Tallahassee's stretched, but great defensive play there by Thompson. Able to pick it off. Now Linville with an opportunity to pick her head up and look for some service. Manders finding a pocket of space. Has Nelson towards the middle. Sought out defensively by Pensacola. Land trying to scoop up the loose ball, but it's ushered out and controlled here by Takak of Pensacola in their look to regroup. But the midfield and the attacking half for Tallahassee picking up a little bit. Good signs for the Reckoning faithful here. Going to go on a little bit of a frontal attack. Drop back off here, and they'll look to build up from the back. All the way back to the keeper, and we have a stoppage. The ref goes and has to talk about something with Woodard. It looks like there's a little blood scrape on the turf, so she's going to have to get that patched up. So they'll get it going while Woodard is getting all patched. Of course, player safety. Emphasis here. And they'll get that resumed. And live ball back here to Pensacola. But fantastic job here by the medical staff, able to tighten that up, take care of it. That took less than 30 seconds. Well done. Reynolds going to spill this one free over the top. Mendoza, 25 yards from goal, calmly. No hands. Bring this one down. Thompson to play it out wide. Deflected, but Land does well to keep this one in play. And knees it back here to Dubois. Linville trying to turn. The old turf monster gets her there. Now a frontal assault here from Pensacola is going to be sought out. Looking to hit Woodard on the long ball, but carved out here by the Pelicans. Dubois giving chase here in the midfield. On to Cack. Drop back to Pensacola's back line, and they'll turn out a danger after the press there by Natalie Nelson. Building out of the back from inside the box here. And it'll be out of play for a Reckoning throw. Long throw looking there for land, but a little too strong. Will end up back in Pensacola's hands here as we go into minute 30. Spilling out here. It's going to be a throw in. Linville trying to hit Nelson towards that center of the park. Scoop back up by Quiroz. Land given some pressure. Able to be poked free by Manders, but recovered well here by the Pelicans. Press on. Swinton trying to break the pressure. Threading it through. Here's a dangerous Phillips. Centering ball. Dubois giving chase here in the middle of the park. She's been solid here defensively. Cutting off some passing lanes and helping facilitate. Putting a wrench in the gears of the Pensacola machine. Long ball over the top. Chop down. Middle of the park has been increasingly difficult for really both teams to navigate here in the last 8 to 10 minutes. Why we've seen both teams kind of go to long ball here, try to skip the midfield, do it the easy way. A little tougher, though. Land given pursuit, able to save it. Really well done. Pensacola looking to scoop out of the pressure. Linville on the secondary. Level, tried to turn it out northward from Nelson of Pensacola, but he spilled out of play. And the visitors will take a throw in, which will push us to a water break just over the 30-minute mark here from Gene Cox Stadium. So, while we have an opportunity, going to jump out here for a quick commercial break here from Cook's Pest Control, our official sponsor. Going to come on back in just a couple minutes, and we'll have the remaining 15 plus here of the first half on Tallahassee Reckoning Live.
For 200 years, this city has waited for something the world has never seen. Waited for a team that represents the power, the resilience, and the undeniable talent of women in sport. The wait is over. Tallahassee Reckoning isn't just another soccer team. We are the first of our kind, built from the ground up, breaking barriers, and redefining what's possible for women's soccer. For so many young players, the dream starts here. The first touch, the first goal, the first time they believe they could go all the way. Tallahassee Reckoning is where that dream takes shape. Our pre-professional teams aren't just competing, they're creating a pathway to the pros. We proved that talent exists right here in our backyard, that young girls can dream of playing for their city, that women can lead, own, and operate the future of the game. From the first kick to the highest level, this is where the journey begins. Tallahassee Reckoning is the next bold step forward.
All right, and welcome back here to Gene Cox Stadium on Tallahassee's south side. Tallahassee Reckoning against the visitors from Pensacola. About a third of the way through here of today's action. Of course, with a little 3 p.m. start. Visitors, 4th minute goal by Belts, who's wearing number 42 today for the Pelicans. A little scramble in the box here. Was able to dunk it home. Some heroics from Mendoza. The UMass collegiate player has kept us at 1-0. So, fantastic performance from her so far today. Picked out cleanly on sides as they try to give it back to Nelson. An opportunity in the box there, but it'll go out for a Pensacola goal kick. So it'd be for Granis out of the back. Substitution coming on here. Thompson back into the game here for Pensacola. Of course, short bench for the Pelicans, only bringing 14, which is the game day minimum. So you can assume that they will be doing some regular rotations. Addison Smith in here. Of course, with WPSL rules, It's got the rolling rotation, so they can do it as much as they want. Land resuming action here for Tallahassee. Referee plays advantage, but now pulls it back with the advantage gone. And Tallahassee, good opportunity here. Free kick from about 33 yards away. This is about the same distance as the crossbar challenge, which if you've heard, for those of you on scene today, should probably get a ticket. $400. Nobody's hit for any of the games this season, so they keep upping the ante. We could be as high as $500 grand prize by the second half of the doubleheader here tonight. Reynolds from 33 yards out, going towards that back post. Haley's in the area, a little too strong. Haley and Woodard, the closest reckoning players to the action there. Of course, all you got to do, buy a little raffle ticket. If your name gets selected, all you got to do is hit the crossbar from 35 yards out. So, easier said than done so far this season. And that's why they keep upping the ante each game. For Granis, gets us resumed here. On to the Captain Lebovich. Secondary ball falls to Pensacola, and they try to serve one up the line, but out of play, and we'll be back to Tallahassee. Here an opportunity to close 10 minutes strong. Gotta watch, because Pensacola is very dangerous towards the end of the halves. Both of their goals in that first game, of course, the common opponent between these two squads is the Florida Roots, both beating the Roots, both scoring 2 goals, but both goals scored in stoppage time of both halves by Pensacola. So they had one in the 45th and 3rd minute, and they had one in the 90th minute and 3rd. So, dangerous squad, need to keep an eye on. New substitution coming in here, Elizabeth Anderson. The defender will come over here to the right. Number 43 coming in for Nolan Haley. And you wondered what the midfield was going to look like, because as you look at the roster, it's a roster that you've got a number of defenders, you got a number of forwards, but the midfield, as far as typical midfield personnel, a little slim here tonight, of course, with the roster. Anderson once again gets it going. A nice little European flavor there. Anderson Manders from England, or Denmark and England respectively. Circle back around. Here's Anderson once again. Tried to thread it through for Woodard. And that's a little triangle that's been working here with Anderson getting in. Nice little connection there. They've been trying to harness that power. You know, they'd love to get Manders free here. This one never came in play, so it'll be a throw-in, a re-throw-in here, as Woodard might want to go a little long with this one, and does. Over the top, same result. Unable to get it in play. So we're going to have another trial here. As Woodard carving out some real estate, hounded by the defense, but does well to shield the defender. Centering ball here to Reynolds. Nice little fake, a bit of control here. Back to Anderson on the ground. Quick movement. This one spills through to Woodard after the touch there by Dubois. Taken away here from Pensacola. They'll look to counter. Tallahassee a little stretched on the flank. Manders, great job of recovering. Try to stomp out this attack. Does well. And it was not touched by Manders. She kicked the foot of the Pensacola player, which may have been a foul, and that's what they're going to pull it back for, because last touch there by the Pelican. 39th minute, long ball going all the way across field. Linville does well to win it out. Land able to scoop up the secondary ball. She's had an active last 10-15 minutes, has Land. Try to get it through. Pensacola once again cutting it out. Service over the top. Dangerous opportunity for Phillips. Anderson's got to get goal side. Does well. Mendoza slides in and scoops. Had to win that one. Good battle there by Anderson. And Mendoza, assertive off the line. Had to have it. Can't have number 3 messing around the box couple teams that have seen this Pensacola squad already know exactly what Phillips can do. Like we said, 4 goals in just 2 matches. Anderson looking for Woodard here. Able to just walk it down the line. Here as we get 5 minutes from half. And they have a little combination that's working here. Now Woodard wants to go long, looking for Nelson. Deflected off Natalie, and it'll be back to Pensacola. So they had a bit going there where they would just throw it down, Pensacola headed out, throw it down, Pensacola headed out. Taken away. Here's Manders going inside top of the box, trying to get a little bit of real estate, but it's going to be spilled free. Punched out. Pensacola wants to run. They've got a 3-on-4 if they want to run it. They go cross field. Nasty ball is able to fall here to Addison Smith. Has some reinforcements coming, but Reckoning able to get back into position. Linville got to close the back door, able to get there in time. Initial danger put on the back burner, but Pensacola still here cooking. Trying to go centrally. Left-footed shot. Thompson on top of it. Phillips in the box. Thompson cleans it up again. Deflected, but they say off the Reckoning, so it'll be a corner kick, but dealt with in the short term well here by Tallahassee. But, of course, got to be wary of the incoming corner. So Belts is a right footer, so this is going to be an out swinger. Here coming from that far side. 3 on the back post, 3 in the middle, 1 about 12 yards out. Nobody lurking at the top of the box. This one goes front post. And some movement in the box. Couple bodies taking a tumble. And they say infraction on Pensacola, so the Reckoning will gladly take this one out of the back. Dual substitutions coming in. Jada Bartasek, number 8, back into the mix. Give Natalie Nelson a break up there up top. And then also coming in is number 23, Mallory Van Leuven, who will come in from land. Both typically offensive-minded players. It'd be interesting if Coach Fontes puts Van Leuven up top, which it kind of looks like they will. So they'll kind of morph the 3-5-2 into a 3-4-3, it looks like, with Bartasek in the middle, Woodard on the wing, and Van Leuven on the other wing up top. Which I like the last little spurt here. Try to get a little extra push. Manders direct over the top to Bartasek. And the keeper's out on top. Dealt with it. Here is for Granis. Long one over the top is going to be sought out by Anderson. Lot of spin on that ball. Basically drops right behind her. Great shield by Anderson. Can't get around Can Smith. Really well done by the Dane. In here to Manders. Trying to thread through traffic. Reynolds giving pursuit. Nice step there. Fallbacks to Anderson. As Tallahassee's really been locking it up here on this left-hand side. Definitely a point of emphasis for Pensacola. Try to get the centering ball. Secondary effort coming here for Belt. Shield by Thompson. Had to do it. Reinforcements coming from Linville. Shanks off the side of the foot a little bit, but initial danger secured. Great effort by Thompson. You can see that's a collegiate level play right there. Shielding the defender, letting the teammate come in, knowing the body control, situational awareness there. Really well done by Thompson, and Linville able to support. 3 on the back post for Pensacola. It's going to fall about 6 yards out. Off of the header will spill out of play. Looks like they were able to connect with Swinton. I believe her goal earlier this season was on a corner, if I'm not mistaken. Luckily, no harm, no foul here for the Reckoning. And look to resume action as the lefty given traffic directions in minute 44. So 1 goal across. No cards, but we do have the water break. So we could see 3-minute stoppage. Probably what we're looking at, but likely between 2 and 4. Thrown from Pensacola to get us resumed. Last touch by Thompson over there on the far side. as you can feel the weight of these first 45 kind of settling in. We slow it down the last couple minutes. One of the reasons why Tallahassee taking a couple substitutes, try to get a little energy jolt, try to steal one if they can. If they could get this one level before halftime, it'd be huge. Center ref in the park there, not buying the throw-in, so he's going to make the Linville back up and go short throw. Try to cycle around, looking for Van Leuven. But Pensacola able to take this one away. Have a little bit of time and space here. A couple free bodies. Looking for some gaps. Dropping off. Really well done in the center of the park there. Griffin. Woodard coming back to recover this one, but it's right back into the mixer as Pensacola takes it away. Long ball trying to go over the top. Linville having to deal with two Pelicans, but able to sort it out well. Splits the difference and dumps it out of play on the far side. 45th minute here. Fourth referee looks at his watch. Partial clearance. Pensacola able to dump it back in. 25 yards from goal. Sliding effort, had to have it. Really well done by the defense. Getting up a little gimpy is Dubois after that slide. Secondary clearance here from Thompson, but Pensacola bringing it back into the danger zone. And officially we got the notification. Stoppage is going to be the old +2. So accommodate for that here. So allegedly about 90 seconds to play here for a little bonus time. Throw in going short. Dubois hounding Gak there. Spilled out. So it'll be a Pensacola throw, but it will kill some time and push them out. So they're about 45 yards from goal now. Right on the fringe of that attacking third of this 120-yard field. Into the mixer. Reynolds digs it out, but Pensacola midfield surrounds it. Able to fall to Swinton, who wants a little bit of an assertive offensive spill. Tried to find out Thompson. Wow, able to save it. Not out of danger yet is Tallahassee. Linville sprawling effort to get in front of that one. Thompson trying to clean it up. Back door is able to be removed by Anderson. Pensacola once again on top of it. Relentless pressure as we come up here on the buzzer. Manders just trying to break the pressure. Turns into Woodard. Keeper's out if she wants to have one from distance. 50 yards, 40 yards from goal, 30 yards from goal. She's coming down the near sideline. Swinton able to recover. This may be the last effort for either team of this first half. Woodard on the turn, inside the box, an opportunity centrally outside of the foot. Keeper had to have it. Secondary ball. That's going to fall to Dubois. Able to get it out to Van Leuven. Touch will be cleared by Pensacola. And Tallahassee almost stole one there at the end of the half. Really well done. And they will go to the break here trailing Pensacola by a score of 1-0. But a great close here for Tallahassee. Got to be proud of that one here. It was a rocky start, but able to recover and finish strong, get into the break with some potential to make some adjustments and keep on trucking. So we're going to jump out for a quick commercial break ourselves. Here is Tallahassee Reckoning Live. Thanks for coming aboard with us. Of course, brought to you by Cook's Pest Control. Shout out to our partners at Cook's, covering 6 of these southeastern states, of course, with over 90 years of experience. They're in my neighborhood. They're in your neighborhood. And I wish they were out here at Gene Cox Stadium with the Hornets going wild out by our cameraman Walter Weaver here. So hoping that he's okay, not getting stung up by those Hornets. But good half of soccer in the books. Like we said, we're going to jump out for a quick commercial break. Thanks for joining us. Come right on back. We'll be ready to go in 14 minutes and change. And, of course, we've got the famed crossbar challenge coming up. Come right on back.
For 200 years, this city has waited for something the world has never seen. Waited for a team that represents the power, the resilience, and the undeniable talent of women in sport. the wait is over. Tallahassee Reckoning isn't just another soccer team. We are the first of our kind, built from the ground up, breaking barriers, and redefining what's possible for women's soccer. For so many young players, the dream starts here. The first touch, the first goal, the first time they believe they could go all the way. Tallahassee Reckoning is where that dream takes shape. Our pre-professional teams aren't just competing, they're creating a pathway to the pros. We proved that talent exists right here in our backyard, that young girls can dream of playing for their city, that women can lead, own, and operate the future of the game. From the first kick to the highest level, this is where the journey begins. Tallahassee Reckoning is the next bold step forward.
This time of year, ants, they're the worst.
I mean, do you see this? I don't even know where they're coming from.
Oh yeah, ants thrive in the summer, but I know exactly what's going on here. Yep, they're climbing all these wet bushes right onto your house.
In the south, you gotta stop them at the source.
What about termites? I hear they do some serious damage.
I'm glad you asked. We know pests, we know the south, and we know how to keep your home protected.
Cook's Pest Control.
Tallahassee Reckoning emerged from a simple yet powerful belief that every girl deserves to dream. And over the last few years, the world has watched women's soccer shatter the glass ceilings, inspire generations, and redefine what's possible. Tallahassee Reckoning isn't just another team. This is an opportunity to be part of something bigger, to invest, to lead, and to shape the future of women's soccer. Tallahassee is a city built on champions, a city that thrives on competition, innovation, and excellence, a city that's a place of culture, energy, and connection, a place where community isn't just a word, it's a way of life. We're not just building a pre-professional club in Tallahassee, we're creating a global destination, a place where the best come to train, to compete, and to grow. We invite you to be part of something bigger. Join us and build a club that belongs to the world.
Oh, it looks like flag staying down here for Churchill. One-on-one with Rincon. The right-footed shot and score. And who else would it be for the Reckoning minute number 20? First ever franchise goal here in Tallahassee. It's a goal. All right, welcome back here to Reckoning Game Day Live. Here, of course, the official live stream of your Tallahassee Reckoning for WPSL play. So we are at halftime here, and this may be a little different here for some of the visitors coming into the Reckoning broadcast for the first time, but it's an exciting time around here as we get going because it's halftime, and that means the crossbar challenge is going on right now. So basically what that is, you probably heard of the crossbar challenge if you're familiar with soccer. Basically, from a certain distance, you know, it's kind of like a horse shot, so to speak, in basketball. You're trying to hit the crossbar. But the thing is, the Reckoning are offering a little bit of a cash prize here. So nobody's hit it so far this season, so we keep up in the ante. We're up to $400 right now, of course, is the cash prize. So all you got to do, you get a raffle ticket, you get chosen, you go out there. All you got to do is bang that crossbar, and then boom, you head home with a pocket full of cash. So what I would recommend doing with that cash once you win it, because, you know, that's not difficult to hit a crossbar from 35 yards, of course, there's opportunity. Reckoning currently selling shares of the club. If you want to be a part owner, come aboard here. You can be part owner of the club. Of course, more details at TLHReckoning.com. But here we go. Here's our contestant, lucky winner. Getting ready to get going here as we have the media squad out there. We had the demonstration. Larson showed us how it's done. He said, all right, this is where we're going to get going. But here is our contestant in the blue. Of course, the man with no name. He looks fired up, though. Got to hit it from 35 yards. Let's see. $400 on the line. He's trying to lock in. Got the music going. Okay, winding up. He's definitely got the entertainment aspect down, which I appreciate. But isn't enough to pay the bills. We've had, admittedly, oh, got to lose the hat. Hey, this guy's got the stage. He's taking full advantage. I respect the game right now. So he's definitely milking it. We've had nobody even come close. Like, it's been kind of painfully unclose. It looks like he's going straight on approach. I could see a toe ball situation developing here. He's 9 yards out. Locking in. Going for it. Straight on top of it, and skips outside the 18-yard box. Goes in the goal, but not the crossbar that we were looking for. Do appreciate the showmanship there, so I'll give it up here. Are we just going to go one here? Depending on time, usually we get 1 to 3, but I know we got the doubleheader here today, which I was told. Oh, it looks like we get another chance. I was told pregame, hey, if nobody hits it in the Pensacola game, then we're going to up the ante here for the nightcap. So, potentially interesting story here, of course, for those Tallahassee soccer faithful, though we are at halftime here for the Pensacola game here in WPSL play. The Reckoning also have a USLW team, which will be playing tonight at 7 p.m. So, of course, this one will conclude in about an hour. We'll have a couple-hour break. So, if you're looking to join us, if you're in town, I say, come on down. What are you doing? You better be at FSU baseball or something, supporting in the Super Regionals, trying to cheer them on. Or, excuse me, the Regionals. But here you go. We still got a bunch of home games for you. 6 of them counting tonight. Here's still to go. Scan that QR code. Get yourself some tickets here. So, as we go through here, looks like we will go another game. Oh, one more. 3 people going to get a shot at it. My goodness. We'll have an opportunity for you to win some cash here. But, of course, thanks to all of our sponsors here, of course, led by Cook's Pest Control. Service to these 6 southeastern states here for over 90 years. Reliable, friendly service here in your neighborhood. Quality pest control, whether it's the weird ones or your normal kind of household annoyances. You know, get a lot of those down here in Florida. Either way, Cook's has you covered. But we're waiting for our next contestant to get here. Larson, the rest of the staff here for the Reckoning, helping getting us all set up. Which they were out here early this morning getting ready for this doubleheader. So shout out to Larson, the wrecking crew, as they call them. Aiden and the rest of the gang. As we have somebody trotting on here. This is our lucky contestant. I'm looking over to my cameraman here, Walter. Walter, is this person going to hit? Give me a head nod or a head shake. What are we thinking? Yes. You think he's going to hit? He's impressed. So from 35, are we going to hand out $400? It's going! Oh, closest one of the season. Good effort, but a little bit short. All right. That's got to be it. No way they go 4 here. And it looks like we're all done, but that is the closest one we've had this season, so good on you. All right, we're going to jump out, do a couple quick commercials. We've got about 4 minutes back till halftime, so we're going to cycle around, get back with you. Of course, shout out to Cook's Pest Control, lead sponsor here at Tallahassee Reckoning, here in Tallahassee Reckoning Live for the 2025 season. WPSL trailing the big dog, Pensacola, only 1-0. Come back for the second half.
For 200 years, this city has waited for something the world has never seen. Waited for a team that represents the power, the resilience, and the undeniable talent of women in sport. The wait is over. Tallahassee Reckoning isn't just another soccer team. We are the first of our kind, built from the ground up, breaking barriers, and redefining what's possible for women's soccer. For so many young players, the dream starts here. The first touch, the first goal, the first time they believe they could go all the way. Tallahassee Reckoning is where that dream takes shape. Our pre-professional teams aren't just competing, they're creating a pathway to the pros. We proved that talent exists right here in our backyard, that young girls can dream of playing for their city, that women can lead, own, and operate the future of the game. From the first kick to the highest level, this is where the journey begins. Tallahassee Reckoning is the next bold step forward.
This time of year, ants, they're the worst.
I mean, do you see this? I don't even know where they're coming from.
Oh yeah, ants thrive in the summer, but I know exactly what's going on here. Yep, they're climbing all these wet bushes
Right onto your house. In the south, you got to stop them at the source.
What about termites? I hear they do some serious damage.
I'm glad you asked. We know pest, we know the south, and we know how to keep your home protected.
Cook's Pest Control.
Tallahassee Reckoning emerged from a simple yet powerful belief that every girl deserves to dream. And over the last few years, the world has watched women's soccer shatter the glass ceilings, inspire generations, and redefine what's possible. Tallahassee Reckoning isn't just another team. This is an opportunity to be part of something bigger, to invest, to lead, and to shape the future of women's soccer. Tallahassee is a city built on champions, a city that thrives on competition, innovation, and excellence, a city that's a place of culture, energy, and connection, a place where community isn't just a word, it's a way of life. We're not just building a pre-professional club in Tallahassee, we're creating a global destination, a place where the best come to train, to compete, and to grow. We invite you to be part of something bigger. Join us and build a club that belongs to the world.
Oh, it looks like flag staying down here for Churchill. One-on-one with Rincon. The right-footed shot and score. And who else would it be for the Reckoning minute number 20? First ever franchise goal here in Tallahassee. It's a goal.
This time of year, ants, they're the worst.
I mean, do you see this? I don't even know where they're coming from.
Oh yeah, ants thrive in the summer, but I know exactly what's going on here. Yep, they're climbing all these wet bushes
Right onto your house. In the south, you got to stop them at the source.
What about termites? I hear they do some serious damage.
I'm glad you asked. We know pest, we know the south, and we know how to keep your home protected.
Cook's Pest Control.
For 200 years, this city has waited for something the world has never seen. Waited for a team that represents the power, the resilience, and the undeniable talent of women in sport. The wait is over. Tallahassee Reckoning isn't just another soccer team. We are the first of our kind, built from the ground up, breaking barriers, and redefining what's possible for women's soccer. For so many young players, the dream starts here. The first touch, the first goal, the first time they believe they could go all the way. Tallahassee Reckoning is where that dream takes shape. Our pre-professional teams aren't just competing, they're creating a pathway to the pros. We proved that talent exists right here in our backyard, that young girls can dream of playing for their city, that women can lead, own, and operate the future of the game. From the first kick to the highest level, this is where the journey begins. Tallahassee Reckoning is the next bold step forward.
All right, and welcome back here to Reckoning Game Day Live here from the capital city of the Sunshine State. Halftime is over. So let's go ahead and get it going here. Second half of action. Pensacola with the advantage. Kicks off and gets us started. They're going from north to south, left to right in all white uniforms. And, of course, Tallahassee going with the black spirally jerseys here, advancing play, and just a shade outside as Pensacola on the front foot 16 seconds into this one. Dangerous start to the game here for your dangerous start to the second half, for your Tallahassee Reckoning. Of course, just a reminder, I want to go ahead and give this as an opportunity to issue the trigger warning. Of course, is a hometown broadcast. And for those unfamiliar, or usually with minor league, lower league soccer, not used to having the broadcast along with the live stream. Of course, this is produced for and by the Tallahassee Reckoning. So we'll give respect to Pensacola, as we have done the first 45 minutes. But, of course, just like you would at a collegiate school, or similar, when they have a broadcast organized by the school and that program, it will be pro them. So that's what we are doing here from the capital city. So if you think the commentary is irritating, there is a mute button down the bottom left-hand corner of your YouTube feed or any of your smart devices. You're able to mute and enjoy the show without sound. You have the power to do it, so go for it. Harness your power and choose the adventure that you would like out here today. Goal kick here for Mendoza as we approach 2 minutes in here to this first half. Lefty gives it a rod. Here is the Reckoning looking to rebound from that early assault from Pensacola, who, of course, only bringing 14 players on the journey. But an aggressive Pensacola squad giving Tallahassee all that they can handle. Reckoning almost stole one late to tie this match up at the end of the first half, but Pensacola was able to keep them out of the goal, but it's proving opportunistic here for Tallahassee with just the 1-goal deficit to the Pensacola powerhouse squad. The squadron, as it were. Deflection here on the press. Awkward ball for Thompson to handle, but does so well. Able to through ball it to Charlotte. Reynolds on the perimeter for Haley. One touch looking for Manders. Over the top, controlled by Belts. That's our only goal scorer of the afternoon. Number 42 on that scramble in the 4th minute of action. Of course, that was for Pensacola on that north goal. Mendoza directing traffic. Love how in charge Mendoza is guiding this back line. This one spills out to Linville. Nice little 1-2 hesitation through ball. Done well to Woodard. Turns out of it. Land giving chase here. Has one in the middle. Centering ball looking for Manders. And this one will spill out to the outside. It'll be a Pensacola throw-in, but a great little sequence here from the Reckoning. Opportunity given. And you see the wily vet Woodard with a crafty ball trying to find Jordan Land. of course, has been playing professionally indoor. Woodard now back on it, inside the box, dispossessed. Coming out of the back here with Pensacola. Great step by Reynolds. Thrown to the turf, but ref says play on. Stepping in to mediate is Hannah Hassel. Of course, her and Reynolds have the matching blue cleats there. Pressure coming from Hassel. An opportunity here in the attacking third, which has not been too common here for Tallahassee. This one's going to be scooped up. Dubois trying to find the outlet to land. It's going to be covered up by Erwig, the right back here for Pensacola. And foul pulled up and called here from Pensacola. Reynolds doesn't like that one. And I think she's got a legit case. Looks like Earwig just slipped on the turf. Ref wants to pull this one back. So it'll be a free kick here for Pensacola. Isabella Lebovich to give a free kick here, the captain for the Pelicans. Does well to find Nelson out here on the flank. Linville, who's had a really big game here tonight. She's been in total control. Of course, the West Georgia State player formerly by way of Wakulla. Injured player down. And this one's going to be held up here. It's going to be Thompson, number 28. The one crouched over. Of course, like we said, Pensacola only bringing 14 on the trip. League minimum players to have rostered. So it looks like they will continue to move on. Player looks well enough to continue, so they'll let her ride. Out of play, quickly taken. Lebovich, the captain, once again over the top. Thompson in position. A little bit of a long ball going awry, turns into a half chance. Pressure. Mendoza tries to clear. Pensacola locks it in. Offside flag is up. Phillips caught with the hand and the cookie jar over to our right-hand side. And so it'll be a free kick for Tallahassee coming out of the back. So the lefty will blast it through. Collected by Swinton. Haley back in to start the second half over on that right-hand side in the midfield. And it looks like Tallahassee going to stay with a three, or go to more of a, stay with the 3-5-2 here. With Thompson, Linville on the back. And Linville's kind of in no man's land here with Nelson here split out wide. Not much help here, so it's going to be dangerous living as she's kind of playing free safety between two potential runners. Land trying to get a little 1-2 here with Dubois. This one's going to be scooped out there by Earwig. Overlapping run's going to be cut out well here. Griffin trying to go back centrally to Reynolds. Pinballed around. Linville initial clearance, but in the middle third, Pensacola will scoop this one up. Awkwardly deflected ball could be a corner. And it looks like it was last touched by Tallahassee. So it'll be an opportunity for Pensacola. Just awkwardly kind of drifted back off the long ball deflection. Finds its way to a free one here for Pensacola. So once again on the service, Belts, the goal scorers. Great service. Seen a couple corners, especially that one early here in the teens. Proved problematic. Right-footed outswinger. This one's going to go near post. Tried to smash in there. Didn't have the angle for it. So luckily for your reckoning, it'll be out for a goal kick. So directing traffic here. Pretty compact formation for the reckoning. One back by Pensacola. Griffin in pursuit, hounded by Belts. Looking to turn out to the right. Is able to spill it out, but Pensacola's press is still on. We've got a number mismatch here for Pensacola, but luckily sought out well by Haley. Hassel Spills it out to Haley on the perimeter. We'll drop back to Griffin here, and we'll have an opportunity to reset. Going to go long ball, direct play, looking for Woodard. Swinton wins the head battle, but will be out for a reckoning throw on that far side. So a little bit more of a frenetic pace. Definitely not that last couple minutes that we saw at the end of the first half. Stoppage time in the first half was pretty wild. A couple chances for both teams. But it was a sleepy 40 to 45th minute, largely. Not the case here on the other half of the break. And if you're looking for the Cooks pest control, pest of the game, which we are, I think Linville got to be toward the top of your list here for Tallahassee. Of course, basically the player of the game, but in keeping with the pest control theme. I mean, they've been doing it for 90 years. Here with the coverage range, the southeastern states. Great ball, looking for Manders. Pensacola once again on top of it. Sliding effort by Dubois, full split. Bounces right up, though. Props to her. Square ball here from Woodard. Finds Linville trying to weave through. And the Western Georgia alum able to slide through, get it to Hassel. Back to Haley. Has Griffin in support if needed. Reynolds. 50 yards from goal. Trying to get it through to that attacking third, and does. By way of Haley. Cuts it back. Strongly done. Threads it through well here to Manders. No support there in the box. Going to have to do it a lot individually. Ref said defender got the ball. They say play on. Haley will cut this one out as Pensacola tries to escape with the long ball outlet. And it looked like Belts is going to do it on her own. Shielding the ball. Long tried to go for Phillips. Collected here by Thompson, and Linville will usher us out of play. And it will be a Pensacola throw in. So a little opportunity there. Couple half chances in there for that little offensive spell for Tallahassee. So I think as a Reckoning faithful, you got to like that one. Pensacola seems to be up to the task, though. Would like us to get a couple opportunities at Ferenkus. Haven't really tested the keeper much. Of course, easier said than done against Pensacola. Through ball here to Manders. Nice little bit of hesitation. Going to be a foot race here with Lebovich. Slide. Lot of leg involved there. Manders is going to go down. Referee saying that Lebovich got ball, but there was a lot of contact. A lot of contact. Last defender. So, of course, room for interpretation as Manders holding her shoulder. And she didn't want to come off, but I think she knows it's pretty serious after she tried to stretch that out. A tough tumble, so she gets chopped down with the lower body and then lands on, it looks like that right shoulder as you could see her massaging it. The England native putting in a tough battle. Woodard tries to flick it onwards, turns into a little half chance. So there we go. For Kranis, having to use the mitts there to try to take that one out. That was on target. So we'll take it. That's one for the stat book for Woodard. Your current franchise leader of goals scored. And it looks like Manders is getting some attention. So luckily with the WPSL, you can do these rolling subs. So even if she has to get some treatment, maybe they hit her with a little magic spray or just gets an ice pack, it'll be an opportunity for her to kind of regroup, and you're able to get Bartasek in here. So you at least have to deal with 11. You're not kind of risking it / playing the substitution battle and kind of running things with 10. So Bartasek will go into that center forward role, as it looks like they're going to kind of flank 3 up top, or they're going to put Woodard back into the midfield. So that'll be to be determined. Looks like it was deflected off of 23 Emily Smith, so it'll be a Reckoning throw-in. Substitution coming here for Pensacola. So it feels like with the momentum going for Tallahassee that Pensacola, if nothing else, just wants to try to break this up. As Tagak going to come in, number 25, and taking a seat, I believe it's Thompson. No, excuse me, 23, Emily Smith will take a seat. So Woodard, who's kind of the long throw specialist, was on top of this one. But she'll go ahead and give way to Haley. Oh, it looks like a little training ground move. Well done. Going to the back post, falls for land. Secondary one hits Bartasek in the neck. A little bit of an awkward spill. She'll trap it down looking for Linville, but Pensacola looking to break. Long ball is going to be a hairy opportunity. Thompson will have to track back, trying to escort it over to Mendoza, but unable to get it back, so it'll be out for a Pensacola throw-in. And Thompson looks like a little equipment / stinger on that right leg. Got a little hitch in the giddy up as she gets ready to go. And substitution coming here. Hassel's going to take a seat. Manders back into the game, which you'd love to see. So, of course, Coach Fontes, head coach here, the WPSL team, with the great assistant staff, Coach Cotto, Coach Felipe, Coach V, a.k.a. Coach Sachs, threads it through, looking for Manders. Woodard also in the area, and there comes Manders with the full press. As with Land, secondary press in that fringe of the attacking third, but now it's going to leave Tallahassee vulnerable. Great win by Liveville. Had a rock star game over here on this left flank for Tallahassee. Solid as you like for the Wakulla native. Quick throw back into play. Bartasek giving chase. Phillips is able to squeak through, puts Mendoza in a hairy situation, but luckily it's too strong. Mendoza does well to retreat back into goal here. And no harm done for your Tallahassee Reckoning. So long one over the top will go out of play. So Pensacola throw in. Here, 62nd minute. Numbers back here for Tallahassee, but a little bit of a mismatch formationally here on this near side. Extra player potentially looming. Sometimes that's what you fall into with the 3-5-2. You get gaps in players. One free on the back post, unable to get the delivery from that far side is Nelson, number 9, looming here for Pensacola. It'll be out for a Reckoning goal kick. So Thompson in the box. She'll take it off the short one from Mendoza. Out to the left flank for Linville. Does well to shield her defender. Putting in a physical challenge there. And Pensacola very aggressive. Sign of a good team. There'll be a foul call here. Is Thompson looking to take this one? Long ball over the top. Great delivery. Finds Land. Brings it down, but the second one is scooped up by Pensacola. Oh, but poke free back by Land. Looking for Bartasek going through the middle of the park. It's going to be taken away here from Pensacola. Good backtrack here by Bartasek. Putting the pressure on. Griffin cuts this one out. Secondary one. Pinballs back to Griffin. Spills it out to Haley. Picks her head up, service, looking for Manders. Little under hit there. We'll go back to Pensacola. And the visitors looking to break the pressure here as Tallahassee really been turning it up here. And calculated team flow here, which you like. Substitution coming, Musgrove. Maddie Musgrove. Typically a defender here. We're looking to secure the back, and they're going to take out Haley. She'll take a seat. So Musgrove will fall into the back right. Of course, she's one of the Thomas University Nighthawks, part of the Thomas block, the Thomas to Tallahassee connection. Good step in there by Manders, who has a wrap on that right forearm, if you can see. She's flexing her shoulders, maybe just to kind of cut off some pressure here. Warriors effort here from Manders, which always just seems to be the case. And pressure here as Manders giving chase. That's what we're talking about. Put a little pressure on Farankis to see what happens. Wins a Tallahassee throw-in, up 2 balls on the pitch there. Got to get rid of one of those. And it drifts out of play, so luckily it does the job itself. Tried to cycle back. It's going to be Pensacola poking this one free. Try to get it through. Bird sought out well here by Griffin. Now an opportunity for Tallahassee. If they do it calculated from distance, trying to find land. Streaking through the 6-yard box. Gets into some close quarters with Farankis. But it'll be out for a goal kick. But a little bit of an opportunity, some pressure from Tallahassee. So they're not shying away from the powerhouse to our west. Proclaimed by some as queens of the Emerald Coast. Still a long season to go here on the Third Coast Division of this Gulf Coast Conference. Not to be confused with the Delta Basin Division, which is the alleged western half of the conference split. For those who are in the WPSL website / put some serious thought into those matters. Out of play. Throw in quickly by Pensacola. Smith cut off well by Thompson, resulting in another Pensacola throw-in. So they're putting numbers up in a big way. The goalkeeper, the only one still on the Pensacola half of the field right now. The other 21 players on the Tallahassee half. Hairy situation. Griffin, nice turn and block there. That's going to be a stinger on the back. That was a full sprung rip from outside the box. Pensacola back on top of it. Bartasek giving great chase here, trying to provide a pressure to potentially get an outlet. Woodard coming back, lending her assistance here. Full stretch. Thompson had to have it. Deflection hits Woodard in the back. They say play on. Calls for handball from Pensacola. 1-2. Manders land. Try to get it back to Manders. Poke free here by Lebovich. Speared out there by Bartasek. Wayward ball. Linville one time. Beautiful. Manders an opportunity with Farankis one-on-one, but dumps it out to the back line. A little bit of half pressure on here for Tallahassee. They'll look to absorb Pensacola. A little overlap, and they've got a little bit of a zonage contained. And Pensacola having some problems getting through those passing avenues that they easily or easier were able to get through in the first half. But Tallahassee, to their credit, has done really well in clogging up those lanes. And this has been a full-blown back and forth here in this early going. So Haley looking to come back into the game here for Linville, who gets a well-deserved break. Linville putting in a Warriors effort. I assume she's just catching a breather. You can expect her to come back into the game. Haley will take the throw in, so Haley will fall into the left back as they leave Musgrove out there on that far side. Both typical, well, this season both been defenders. Musgrove more the traditional defender. Long ball over the top looking for Belts, the goal scorer. Only one we've had today, back in minute 4. Long ball over the top is going to get back to Swinton. Heavy touch. Land almost takes that one away. Cut off, but great pressure by Tallahassee. The secondary one gets through. Through ball looking for Land. Dubois, good thought, but just a little undersold it there. And Pensacola looking for the counter. So a little stoppage. Jordan Land will come out. And it looks like Van Leuven will go back up top. So Van Leuven's going to be over to the left. So clean substitution there. Haley steps and launches. Woodard in the area. Swinton seeks it out. Bartasek going to scoop up the second ball. Third ball is going to be won back by Pensacola to Cac. Cycled around. Some touches for Pensacola. Opportunity to serve if they see it here on the weak side. Got a little mismatch in numbers. Need some communication here for Tallahassee. Got a free runner. Ooh, a little bailout. You take it, though. It'll be a goal kick here for Tallahassee. 70th minute. Holding strong here with Pensacola. You felt they were a little more at risk here in the second half, but confidence boost, some fresh personnel. Obviously, they're going a little deeper than Pensacola is today. As far as numbers-wise, which in the WPSL, why wouldn't you? Gives you an opportunity to do so. Thompson, Reynolds, try to get it through. Handball, they should play on. Haley, Reynolds trying to turn out of it. Great control. Looking to go switch to Woodard. Might have been off. It was close, but it won't matter. It'll be out for Tallahassee. Oh, Pensacola throwing. So Nelson will flop out here for, believe that is Dubois. So she'll settle into kind of what I assume would be an attacking midfielder role. But basically you got 4 forwards on the field. We talked about kind of the limited midfield personnel here in the squad out here for today's match. So it'd be interesting if they want to fledge her forward and do like a attacking mid role to really kind of force the issue. Because since Woodard got in, it almost seems like they've been running a 3-4-3. So it'll be interesting to see. It looks like they have Nelson currently on this left outside midfield. But you do like Nelson's aggressiveness. So maybe they're just looking for her to clog up the middle a little bit. Takeaway here for Pensacola. Dangerous positioning, but great recovery by Reynolds. Had to win that one. 72nd minute. Pressure's on again for Pensacola. Mendoza off the line on the 6-yard block. Quick to throw. Here's Nelson. A little bit of space if she can turn out of it. One back by Pensacola. Niles on top of it. Step well by Griffin. Flooded out to the perimeter as Pensacola using the flanks more successfully. Brought down by Phillips. Looks to reload. Chip over the top. And drops it in the basket. 5th goal in 3 matches. And that's a heartbreaker here for Tallahassee in the 72nd minute. Concession here. Phillips doing the damage. Minute 72. Now the deficit has been doubled. First concession here by Tallahassee in a second half all season long. And that's tough. Takeaway and just a player in form taking a confident strike. Nothing Mendoza could do about that one, outside of being about 3 feet taller. But even with the advances in modern medical technology, unable to do so. But nothing Mendoza could do. But here's Woodard on the attack. Here's how you respond. Taking a shot from the top of the 18 for Kranis. Having to dive on top of that one. And that's something you can get into. Still an opportunity to carve out of this. We got about 20 minutes to go here. Another goal in the books. We assume, based on previous principle, that we'll get another water break. So I feel like you got to be confident that that is also coming, which will give Tallahassee an opportunity to regroup, get some coaching words here from Dr. Fontes, and get us rolling once again. Musgrove out here on the flank, looking to hit Nelson towards the sideline, but just a little too wide over there on that far side. It'll go out of play there. Drop back. And great chase by Manders. Puts the pressure on. Haley takes it away. This one twists oddly back to the center of the park. Mendoza's going to have to come outside the line, 30 yards from goal, left-footed, half volley, clears it out of danger. Pensacola looking to dump it back into the mixer, though. They've got numbers. Tallahassee is stretched. Is Mendoza going to come get this one again? She does, confidently dealt with, and the UMass goalkeeper has done really well in really difficult situations here tonight. This afternoon, Great full stretch save. That looks like it was going to connect with the frame. Mendoza does well to usher this one. And though while you look at two concessions here and, you wonder what kind of performance the goalkeepers had. Great performance. It could easily be 4 or 5, especially when you think about that early sequence a couple times in the box for Mendoza and the last couple efforts as well. Keeping Tallahassee in this one. But you love the aggressiveness. Tallahassee doesn't appear to be deflated here, but you got to think that Pensacola's looking for the nail in the coffin here. So next goal's the big one. Tallahassee can get one back, make this a one-score game. I think it changes the entire outlook here, but if Pensacola's able to get the third, I think this one's kind of in the books. Maybe a bridge too far for Tallahassee, but still 15 minutes and change here to get it done. We saw Sasha Manders get a brace herself in about 100 seconds. So we know this team is capable of doing big things against teams from the Panhandle in short amount of time. So we'll go forward to the water break here. And it'll give us an opportunity to step out for a quick commercial break. Energy Water Weaver bringing you the action here today. WPSL soccer here in the Gulf Coast Conference. A tight one between teams looking to go top of the table. Come right on back.
For 200 years, this city has waited for something the world has never seen. Waited for a team that represents the power, the resilience, and the undeniable talent of women in sport. The wait is over. Tallahassee Reckoning isn't just another soccer team. We are the first of our kind, built from the ground up, breaking barriers, and redefining what's possible for women's soccer. For so many young players, the dream starts here. The first touch, the first goal, the first time they believe they could go all the way. Tallahassee Reckoning is where that dream takes shape. Our pre-professional teams aren't just competing, they're creating a pathway to the pros. We proved that talent exists right here in our backyard, that young girls can dream of playing for their city, that women can lead, own, and operate the future of the game. From the first kick to the highest level, this is where the journey begins. Tallahassee Reckoning is the next bold step forward.
And back here in Tallahassee, of course, the last break that we shall see of the afternoon. Well, so we think, at least, as we go forward here and resuming action. 78th minute. The visitors adding another goal a couple minutes ago by way of Phillips. Chip outside the box, just dipping under the crossbar there. So the advantage has now been doubled for Pensacola. 2-0, which is the exact same score that they were able to take out the Roots earlier this season, I believe a week ago. So, of course, the Roots in Tallahassee, two teams that battled for a great one on Wednesday. So it makes sense. Two teams that were very equal, and Pensacola dealing with them roughly the same way. So as things kind of shake down, it puts an interesting kind of perspective. If Pensacola holds on, we showed you the table at the top of the broadcast here of what the table looks like. It feels if Pensacola gets this one. Of course, still some time to play here, so we don't want to rule out our Tallahassee Reckoning yet. This one gets played in through Griffin. Great pursuit, and Mendoza scoops this one up. It's still a 4-horse race here because the Pensacola game still to take place out there, and I think Tallahassee showed that they can hang tough with Pensacola. So I wouldn't rule them out here or on the road. Same thing with Gulf Coast, tough one out there in Gulf Coast, and I think the return with the Roots. So you got a really strong top half here to the WPSL here in this Third Coast Division of the Gulf Coast Conference. Through ball goes all the way back to Fercranis. Taken away, here's Manders. Takes a long shot for Fercranis off the line, off the post. Is it going to twist in? It is in! It stands, it twists in and able to get through from distance. Manders still in form. It's a Tallahassee goal! Manders takes an opportunity from distance. And who else would you want to take the shot attempt in form and a lifeline here for Tallahassee? They get one back here, 80th minute. And now the storyline is a little interesting. Manders' third goal in 2 matches. Thomas University, originally from the motherland of England, and had a little English on that one as it twisted off the post, enough spin to get it home. Substitution, Linville will come in for Reynolds. And it looks like Linville will kind of settle into that defensive midfield role. But now the narrative has changed a little bit. Like we said, next goal to determine it. Pensacola looked on the front foot, but now Tallahassee with the breakthrough has given themselves a lifeline and a chance at splitting one, maybe more points on the table here for the Reckoning.
Reckoning goal scored by number 46, Sasha Manders.
They hear the PA announcer coming through there. Manders, third goal in 2 games just this week. All 3. She now has 4 for the season. Overlapping run. Here comes Nelson. That's going to be Woodard. She's onside thanks to the player in the middle. Central, that's a handball. They play on. It's going to be to the spot. And how things have turned. We saw in 100 seconds how Manders bagged 2, and now Tallahassee. You got to think you give Manders the ball here. The way she's been finishing in form. It looks like a little dilemma here between Woodard and Manders. And you love how the wily vet gives way here to Manders. So just like that, after a long-distance shot that twists in off the post, now we have a handball in the box. Silence at Gene Cox Stadium. And the righty takes a rip. Initial one's blocked. Secondary ball skies over the post. And standing tall is Ferrankis. And thought Manders had the slam dunk at back-to-back braces, but it'll have to wait a little longer. 2 goes at it, and you can tell the England native is disappointed. Fantastic effort out here for her today. So close to leveling this one off. And for Karanis, big save to her credit. Sprawling to her right, keeping it out of danger here as we get into minute 84. Monster save for Pensacola, who I think would feel slighted if they had to split the spoils here this afternoon. Haley looking to set up a long throw. Try to get it up to Nelson. Van Leuven come in. Heavy collision there. Oh, and it looks like man of the magic words was said. And that's going to be a yellow card on belts. So Pensacola gets shown the card there. Infraction belts now working with a yellow here for Pensacola. That was our first goal scorer of the day, number 42. So in a preservation effort, Coach Castleman going to take belts off, as will Smith. Addison Smith takes a seat. So now on is Emily Smith. As we get action resumed here from the near side, about 30 yards from goal. Isabella Lebovich will get us rolling once again. Haley scoops. A little 1-2 here on the near side. As they have some support defensively. Threading back through here. Tallahassee trying to shore up that back line. Had a chance at the equalizer from the spot. Thompson giving pursuit here. Flooded out wide. Musgrove trying to deal with Nelson. Centering ball. On top of it is Mendoza. Once again, Mendoza really appreciated her effort here tonight. So you got to think, for up to me, which is not, top three, Mendoza. Manders now has to get into consideration, and Linville, to me, kind of the Cook's pest control, pest of the game for the opponent, a.k.a. the reckoning player of the game. Reynolds coming in for Woodard here, so it looks like they're going to flood Nelson. So it looks like a kind of delayed rotation, but they'll shore up the midfield here with Reynolds. He's going to push Nelson, it looks like, up front. It looks like. And that way Manders, Van Leuven, and Nelson, so it'll kind of morph into more of a 3-4-3 here in the late going as Tallahassee tries to push some numbers forward.
Charlotte Reynolds is back in the game for number 20, Abby Griffin.
Dropped back here, but he'd be out of play back to Pensacola. Tallahassee, who's just getting the setup, is starting to get the flow going. This one will be ushered back here to the visitors, who have played strong, but find themselves, I think, if I was a Pensacola perspective, I think in a little bit more of a fight than I would like. Through ball going to be tracked back here by Griffin. Oh, great bit of control there to put it up the line and able to hit Musgrove. This one will be back by Pensacola, trying to put some touch on over the top. Musgrove shielding Phillips. And assertive from Mendoza. Step off the line. Lefty will forego the kick. Roll it down to Thompson. So UMass down to Louisiana Tech. On over to Childs High School by way of Haley. Van Leuven, nice control. Long ball has Nelson. Looks like the wrong shoulder. Linville picks up the secondary ball. Tried to thread it through to Nelson, but a little strong for Kranis. Up to the task here. Wants to run a little clock. Make Tallahassee go for it. And Nelson will accept the invitation here. Minute 88. Couple minutes of stoppage to be expected. 2 goals and a water break. So probably looking at a 4-ish minutes here, depending how conservative the refs decide to go today. As Griffin chips this one over to Linville, and they're going to pull this one back for a foul. They're going to get Niles on the physicality there. It's been a calming presence in the midfield here for Pensacola. Opportunity for Thompson to launch here. He's had some great long service here this season. Can she do it again? Reynolds in the area. Chested down to Manders. Little half volley goes skyward. Can't drop it down to the back corner, but an opportunity there for the Reckoning to make something happen here. 88th minute. As now we creep into minute 89. For Kranis, of course, going to try to run some clock here for Pensacola. Center ref says, let's get it on. Long ball. Musgrove, won by Pensacola. Linville does well to take it out. Nelson through ball. Manders tries to gut it through to Van Leuven for Kranis. Full stretch here, 10, 15 yards from goal. 15. Sliding in. That was a developing opportunity for your Reckoning. Long ball over the top. Haley in position to defend. Reinforcement coming well here. Throw to Pensacola. Dubois thought for sure that was going to be a Reckoning opportunity. Throw in taken quickly. Bounced over the head here to be last touched by Pensacola. Good win. And good little piece of craftsmanship there by Thompson to control that one. And the refs have been sticklers about backing the throw-ins up today. They're not going to let them run along here. Physical battle there. Earwig, Linville, Haley able to keep it in play. Looking for some service, trying to find Manders. A little bit of direct play. Secondary ball won by Linville. Threaded it through, looking for Van Leuven. Nice trap there by Griffin. Service quickly to Reynolds. Trying to turn out of pressure from Niles. Gets it to the perimeter to Nelson. Now Nelson with two defenders on her from Pensacola. Can't burn by him. Pensacola an opportunity to counter if they can escape. This one drops back to Griffin. A drifter to Mendoza. Class from the keeper, though. Composure. How about a little run by Griffin out of the back? This one's going to be won back by Pensacola. Tallahassee's stretched. Counter on the table here for Pensacola. Watch for the cutback. Mendoza! Heavy touch there. Done well. Nelson on the sprawling attack. Griffin in control defensively. And a heavy touch prevents things from getting a little hairier. So Belts looking to come back into the game on a yellow card, as is number 24, Addison Smith here for the visitors. Both for Pensacola. As this may be more tactical than anything here from Pensacola, as we are officially up north of the 90-minute mark. Scheduled time to play here. Looking for official stoppage time to see what we will get. Out of the back here to Musgrove. Still a lifeline for Tallahassee to steal 2 points from Pensacola's pocket and put one of them in their own. Unofficially would have to guess probably 4-minute stoppage. Once again, need an official announcement. Long ball from Mendoza. It's going to be twisting towards the sideline. Pensacola keeps it in play. Linville winning the second ball. Manders able to control. Has Van Leuven in help. Linville going through the middle. Nelson on the backside. Swinton up to it. Secondary ball. Musgrove coming out 50 yards from goal. Numbers forward here for the Reckoning. On the ground. Oh, just outside of the outstretched Nelson. And it'll go all the way back here for a Pensacola goal kick. Of course, for Crane, it's going to be in no rush to get this one going, as we're 90 minutes plus 2 already. Still no indication of official time. So, of course, for Kranis, could wait as long as the card if she wanted to. Going to go near side over Van Leuven's head. Haley makes contact. It'll be a Pensacola throw. You ready to take this one? Haley wins the initial header. Brought down by Griffin. Threading it through, looking for Linville. And a long ball, maybe more of a time waste than anything here from Pensacola. Musgrove kind of tracking back. We'll have to take the throw-ins. Got to go for Tallahassee. Need some urgency. As we're approaching here the 3rd minute stoppage. Could pull it at any time. No official announcement. Spilled on out here. Thompson to Haley, looking for some service. Goes long ball, looking for Manders. In position. Oof, gets rocked in the back of the head. Ref says play on. Linville coming in to clean this one up. And Manders has been getting it from Pensacola, man. A Warriors effort out here from Manders. She's getting knocked around, picked up the injury, got the arm wrapped. Still a lifeline. This one looks deflected. That should be Tallahassee throw. Is Haley. Gotta go, gotta go. Looking for Manders. She's able to carve it out. Twist through to Swinton. She will clear. Dubois tries to drop it in here near side to Van Leuven. Referee whistle blown. Substitution, he says, we'll get the throw on. Sorry, he's trying to keep things rolling here. Obviously, the time where the team with the lead drains the clock a little bit. Little gameplay there, as basically any team would be. Tried to thread it through here. Niles, service over the top. Thompson dug it out well. Reynolds trying to turn back on this one. Swinton pursued by Nelson. And they'll escape the danger here. Musgrove's going to be able to contain, get it back to Mendoza. We're already past the 4-minute mark. Could be any second before they call this one. Fourth referee getting chatty, it looks like, on the radio. Been a minute since the head ref looked at his watch. Out of play, Pensacola. Throw in. Finds Niles. A little bit of a gap here for Pensacola. Threads through to Thompson. Haley one-times it. And that is game. So a late drama here for Tallahassee. Chasing down Pensacola, just ran out of time. Given 5-10 minutes, who knows? But that's not how they play the game. 90 and change is what we work with here. So all final from Tallahassee. For the WPSL game, we are full-time 2-1. But I think, once again, developing pride here for Tallahassee. This team showed that they can hang tough in difficult situations. Got the late brace to take down the Roots the other day. They've shown they can hang with Pensacola. And so I think there's a lot of pride to be taken out of this one. This is not a loss there for your Tallahassee Reckoning. So, of course, you want to get as many points as you can all the time. So they'll go with 2 wins and 2 losses here on the season overall, but still sitting 6 points. Of course, so could still get out of the weekend in third in the table. So this is how we started the day, if we get into that conversation of what we have going on here in the Gulf Coast Conference, Third Coast Division. So Pensacola will go 9, temporarily going top of the table. A couple more games in action today. You have Gulf Coast and Pensacola Academy going at it, who tied earlier this week. So it wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility for the Academy and Gulf Coast to tie again, which would send Pensacola top, Gulf Coast second, Tallahassee third. Roots and Union 10 also playing here today. You would think that the Roots are able to take care of business and get the full 3, which would really clutter up the top of this table. Then you could see a potentially 9-8, 6-6 table here, with the Academy and Union 10 kind of trailing behind a little bit. But I think this all illustrates that we still got a big race here in the WPSL. So this, of course, is start of day. Pensacola now on 9 points in 3 matches. So still, by that metric, the team to beat. So, of course, more action to come here from this WPSL season. Of course, for your Tallahassee Reckoning fans, if you're in the city, maybe you went to some baseball earlier today and you want to come up and you're free, a little USLW action. Of course, the USLW Reckoning team will be playing Miami Athletic Club, so that'll be a fun contest kicking off at 7 here today. If you can't come through to the park, you know we got you covered here with the live stream from Reckoning Live, but it will be on another network. We are unable to provide it due to the exclusive contract the USLW has, so that will take place on NBC Sports Engine Play. You can find that with all the USLW games. So simply put, go to USLW website, look for your Reckoning, you'll be able to watch it. That's the easiest way we can recommend to do it. USLW league.com. That'll be the tickets. But that's all we have for here today. Great game, a little matinee affair here from Gene Cox Stadium. Nothing to be ashamed of here for Tallahassee. Warriors effort, battling against a really tough opponent, and leaves it bright for the rest of the season. So excited for the rest of the contest. For this WPSL squad, we talked about the USLW team, but I know you want the schedule. What does that look like the rest of the way? As we pull it up here, looks like the Pensacola Academy. So the Reckoning will be hitting the road, but it won't be till Saturday. So you can take the week, get yourself a little breather, and maybe take a little road trip out to battle the Pensacola FC Academy. And then the week after that, they will be hosting Gulf Coast United, which will be a huge game as far as the standings go, because, of course, with the 6-team league, you're going to play everybody home and away. So you can't hide from anybody in the league. All the schedules are even, so you got to take care of business. So a little bit of heavy heads here for Tallahassee. Tough one to swallow, but I think really great effort. And really impressed with Mendoza, especially in between. I thought her effort was great, as was Linville and Manders up top. Number of players, not just the 3. I think those are your front runners here for the pest of the game, the Cooks Pest Control. Pest of the game here for your Reckoning. So while we're talking about Cooks, we got to give them some love here. Their lead sponsor of your Tallahassee Reckoning. Love needed for our friends over at Cooks. Listen, they got offices serving 6 southeastern states. They've been providing pest control and termite control in your neighborhood and my neighborhood, really, for more than 90 years. Regardless of your specific pest control needs, they're here to help. Whether you're dealing with common household pests, a termite infestation, or other pest-related concerns, the experienced team is equipped to provide solutions that you require. So, of course, when you got an opportunity, you got to talk to Cooks. There you go, pest control. Of course, shout out to all the season sponsors going for you here today. Grova Creative, Concept to Campaign. Grova helps turn your business ideas into impact. If you want to learn how to take your business to new heights with creative strategies, marketing tactics, web design, social media techniques, and digital solutions, you know what you should do. Let's visit Grova, GROVA.com. Account Management, strategic management authority specializing in women's sports with a client-centric philosophy, providing sustainable, that's key, solutions for maximum impact. Amicus Brewing Adventures. May have to catch a little ride share up to Amicus here between the games. Of course, a little post-game action, little game day action for you here. You get a $4 pour. Try the specialty-made Tallahassee Reckoning Raven's Claw Brew. It's a little hibiscus blend they have going on. 4 Bones up at Amicus. Of course, women-owned, women-founded, just over there, kind of the Cascades area. So less than 2 miles up the road. Quick little ride share, of course, because you want to be responsible going from Gene Cox Stadiums up to Amicus, do a little power hour up there, 90 minutes. Then you ride share back here safely, of course. And then you get ready for the 7 o'clock game for the USLW team, because that squad is turned up, ready to go. They're ready, fired up. So, of course, if you're not into the Ravens Claw, they still got the Capital City Common, the Sun Lounger, your Kentucky Common Ales, your watermelon lime sours. They got it all for you. So, check them out, Amicus Brewing, with special game day deals here for the Reckoning fans. Also want to talk about FSU Coach, Interdisciplinary Center for Athletic Coaching at Florida State University, training coaches through the 100% online Masters in Athletic Coaching, as well as offering free education through the podcasts and newsletters. You want some more information? You should head to fsu-coach.fsu.edu. Of course, the other allies, shout-outs, help keep the operations manageable. Clothesline, Astro Travel, Holy Comforter Episcopal School. Also, if you're looking for some live stream solutions, you're like, I got a sports organization, I don't know what I'm doing. Luckily, partners with I-10 Sports Media Network, Andrew Jupe and the gang, providing all live stream services for all 3 teams in the semi-professional realm here of soccer. Scan that QR code, get some contact information. If you're like, I got a stream, I want to take it to the next level, or I have something I got going on, I don't know how to stream, I don't know how to do anything. Non-stop, one-stop service. Set up, tear down, streaming affiliates. You know, when you have multiple teams, you have multiple leagues, it's got to go different places. So, whether it's a neutral broadcast or a hometown broadcast you hear on the Tallahassee Reckoning games, they're able to take care of it for you. So keep that in mind. Of course, also you don't want to miss out on those Reckoning tickets. Woo! Still 6 more opportunities for you to come through, both at the USLW and the WPSL schedule. So it's kind of a flip-flop. It's a funny pairing. A lot of front-loaded home games for the WPSL team, which you've seen here. But the USLW team down the stretch, many home games. 4 of the final 6 home games will be the USLW squad to see some of the new characters that we have here going on. So check on back here, follow that QR code, or to go to TLHReckoning.com for more info to get for your in-person attendance. Also, for the kids, starting later this month, we are getting close to this Tallahassee Reckoning summer camps. Of course, 2 weeks away. I say 2 weeks, and that's a lie because it's less than 2 weeks. A week from Monday, it's June tomorrow. Whoa. June already. I'm getting old. Of course, don't miss your chance to train with the future pros and coaches who have developed professional players and Olympians. Parents, you know what you shouldn't do is spend hundreds of dollars on garbage and gimmicks. What you should do, instead of doing that, throwing your money away, you should invest. Invest and sign up for the Tallahassee Reckoning summer soccer camps. Here, unmatched experience and quality in Tallahassee. The camps are in June. More information, of course, at the team website, TLHReckoning.com. Reminder, once again, Cook's Pest Control, the lead sponsor of the action here tonight. Fantastic game for us here this evening. Once again, we are full-time. If you're just joining us, where have you been? Quick recap. Pensacola goals from Belts and Phillips in the 4th and 72nd minute, respectively. And then a thriller to make it wild down the stretch. Sasha Manders here in the 80th minute goal for Tallahassee, making things interesting. So, of course, next game coming up next week, we'll hit the road for the Pensacola Academy, which is the only team that Tallahassee has not played here in the conference. And then we'll start to loop back around here for the schedule. But thank you so much for coming aboard with us here today. Walter Weaver, Andrew Jupe giving you the action here today. Tallahassee Reckoning live. Come back or tune in. We've still got one more game here, second half of the doubleheader for your Tallahassee Reckoning. Until next time, be well.